Hey, John here again. So, got my friend just dropped this saw off. Said it doesn't work. I didn't really get into details with him, you know, as far as what don't work. I'm assuming it don't run. But let's take a look at her. First thing I do is, you know, do the old sling blade test. See if there's any gas and oil in it. A little bit. Not enough to run, probably. A little tiny bit. I should call him. I don't know. Said, can you fix it? That's all. Oh, this is bone dry. Like bone dry, the oil reservoir. So let's fill them two up. See if we can start it. I did notice that there's a nut missing. Not that that has. Uh-oh. There is a nut missing, but there's something else missing too. This chain tensioner, I believe that's broke. See if I can get you a little closer there. That nut just slides up and down in that screw, but that screw, it's bad lighting here, but do it this way. I think that's supposed to have a cap over it or some kind of plastic molding. Looks like it's broke or something. So, yeah, that ain't cool. I don't think he was talking about this, but it even looks like it's been chewed up a little bit, the plastic. So bare minimum is going to need another cover. Actually, it's plastic. I might be able to jury rig something. We'll see. Let's see if it starts. Get some gas and oil in it. Yeah, put some fuel in there. Let's see. 6 times. 6 times. Blue guy, pull out, pull start, push in. Pretty simple. You can hear it working. She kicked. Push this back in. So maybe it just don't stay running. Let's see. Try to choke it again. Unchoke. I think the brake was on. Oh, I think the brake was on. Dave probably thinks it don't run because the brake was on, which I didn't check. Now it's on. Does have a running problem, but maybe it just needs to warm up. Alright, so I don't think there's anything wrong with this saw. So let's go do some adjustments. And I know I've made a video on this before. So all you gotta do is, I pointed this out before, these tools are ready and available on Amazon. They're just a, you probably can't see in there, a little spline deal going in there. So we're gonna go ahead and seat all these. I say all these, 2 of these, go down. That was about a turn. Let's see. It's a half, not 3/4 turn. So then when they're seated down, you just back them off 1.5 turns, right? So again, I use a little writing on, well, this one doesn't have it. There it is. It's kind of non-existing anymore, so let me just color it up. I just use that as a reference, so you know how many times I'm turning it, right? So we'll go, it's bad light, I know it's bad light. So we'll loosen it 1.5 turns, so there's half, 1.5. That's the high side. We'll do the low side, right? There's a half, 1.5. So this thing should start and run. No problemos. I don't even know if we need to choke. warm up. It might need just a minor adjustment, but I don't think there's anything wrong with saw. Dave, if you're watching this, sorry pal, got to put fuel in it. I don't know if it's lack of fuel, which probably not. I'm pretty sure it's probably a brake on. You thought something was goofy. So obviously when you hit something and this kicks back, you know, that puts the brake on. You know, your hand would have hit that. If you kick something, if the saw kicked up, your hand would have forced this forward, and now the blade is locked up. It won't run. We can start it. We can start it, but as soon as you hit the throttle, it's going to be because the clutch is trying to move something, put the brakes on. So that's all there is to it, Davey. So let me get this cover off and look at this little problem here. See if we can get Dave on the road. Yeah, no, this thing's clean as a whistle. So that's all it was, just the high and low. You probably can't see in there. If I stick this the high and lower in there, you might be able to see it go through. And you're just adjusting the carburetor. Now this is the right here is the idle. So if you adjust the low and the high, and for some reason it keeps stalling, you know, when it's trying to idle. Once you get your RPMs right, then you can tweak this this idle screw. But generally speaking, you don't really need to mess with that. But if it won't idle, if it keeps, you know, if the saw seems like it's running fine, and then when you set it down, it just wants to quit, maybe jack that idle up just a little bit, just to keep the gas on. It'd be like, you know, keeping your finger on it a little bit. So just adjust that. But this thing looks squeaky clean. I don't know why the bolts were loose, but let's tighten it up and get that other side off. Alright, so this is just a flathead screwdriver, and that's how you adjust the chain, right? But look, the screw is bent. See how that screw is jacking back and forth? I don't know if you can or not. When I'm torquing on this screw, you know, it's bent. So if you look close, all this plastic is wavy in there, and the bottom's even worse. It's all chewed up, and I believe there's supposed to be a cap on here. There's something supposed to be over here retaining this, and it's just not there. So we're gonna have to get this screw. Probably comes with the cover, so we'll have to price that out, but it should be fairly cheap. So my thought on how this got boogered up and bent and missing a screw has nothing to do, or missing a bolt has nothing to do with it. That probably vibrated off, but this probably got bent because somebody was probably trying to tweak that screw to adjust the chain without loosening these two bolts, and it just, which I'm just guessing. I mean, I don't see how you could put a flathead screwdriver in there and torque on that enough to bend a screw, but I'm not sure how that screw got bent. So originally I was gonna see if I can jerry rig this piece down here, but so I look up on Amazon how much this thing is. $18. So why wouldn't you? Now it's not a Husqvarna piece, but here, let me show you. It's the exact same piece. They even have a little chain direction thing like here inside. You know, everything is exactly the same, just doesn't say Husqvarna like so. But I'm going to see if I can rectify that. So let me put this piece on right quick. Just 13mm, get these bolts off. Amazon Prime comes the next day. Ever since they built the warehouse 20 miles away, anytime I order something on Amazon, it's always here the next day. It's great. A little different during COVID. Some things took a little longer, but let's see if this sucker will come right off, no problem. Yep, no problem. Same thing. Same exact thing. I think. Yep, same exact thing. No wonder it was 18 bucks. So I go to put it on, same exact, well, you probably can't see that. Okay, so, I don't know if you can see here. So there's something wrong with this thing. I should just send it back. I'm all excited. We got a new part for it, 16 bucks, 18 bucks, whatever it costs. But see how this is starting to open right here? Even this side, I don't know if you can see the cover's starting to open, and there's something goofy here. This spring is actually closed, but I think it's set up wrong in there because I can see in there a little bit. So when you take these, if you just take these 3 screws off, this thing's under serious pressure, a spring pressure. It's going to want to boing, but I got to take it apart and see if it's just put together wrong, and I'll take the other one apart, and if I have to use the old parts, I will. Yeah, so I took the cover off. I'm holding the spring in so it don't pop out, but so I think I know what's going on. If you look, I don't know if you can see that. This is popping up a little bit. In other words, that's what's forcing the plastic up. So, and I can see down here, it's not fully seated, so that's what was going on. So I'm thinking if I look in there and get a screwdriver. Oh. See if I can force that down, and that'll probably sit better. Yeah. Yeah, so it just wasn't seated all the way in there. There it goes. There it goes. So this thing was probably built on Friday. So now it's seated and I can put it back on and I'm sure it'll be fine. Or I can elect to take this spring out, which it is problematic. Well, I got to turn this anyways. This is closed still, but I have a way to do that because I've ran into this before. There's probably a tool that they make to fit in here to do this, but I made my own a few years back. Actually, it's right here. I just got it down. I just took a spark plug wrench and notched out 3 little squares so it fits in there, so you can and if you don't have that tool, you can't turn this behind. This spring is just way too much pressure. So I got to put the cover on before I do that, but I'm going to have this cover off. I might just put this cover on just to perpetrate, right? Let's see if the spring will stay by itself. Watch this sucker come flying out of there. Let me clean this piece up. I want to use this Husqvarna piece. I'm in there, so why not? So let's see. Yeah, that fits nice and flat now. I'm even going to use the old Husqvarna screws. The ones that came with the knockoff is Phillips. And the one I took out of, I don't know if they're the same thread. Well, a little rougher. A little coarser thread, but let's see if this will thread in without screwing things up. Oh yeah, she's going in. Okay, so now I got my little tool here. Let's try to spring this sucker open. Oh, even with that tool, it's still hard. So now it's open. This thing should fit right on a tool or right on a saw, no problemo. And then we'll look at that, perfect fit. Perfect fit. Sweet. Yeah, when I first tried to put this on, it wasn't having it. It's because the brake was on. I don't know if that got triggered later on. They should send it to you with the brake off. I mean, that's just stupid. You know, if you don't have a tool, to set this sucker, you know, see how this moves? This ain't under spring tension here, but so like I said, I just notched out the backside of one of these. So, you know, just made my marks, notched it out. I guess before we go ahead and change this badge over, let's see if this mechanism works. Yep, that's brake on. This chain won't move now. Brake off. So everything working good. All right, let me heat this up. I'm gonna heat this up, see if I can get that off of there, and re-glue it on there. Nobody will know the difference. All right, let's see if we can get this thing off of here, no problem, huh? So I'll heat this up a little bit, see if I can peel this off. Yeah, I think I got it hot enough. See if we can peel this sucker off without ripping it. The more I touch it, the more I keep getting it dirty. Don't touch. Oh, that's a big stream. I don't need this much. That's probably too much. That's probably too much. Over there, huh? Huh? Yeah. Straight out of Sweden. Husqvarna part. It's a little bit off on color. Again, you get what you pay for. So there you have it, folks. That'll sit down. So there's what the problem was. This little tab here broke. Little piece of plastic. See any old one here? Gone. And that's what this demise was. And then it started goofing everything up, bending screws. So we're back on the road. Alright folks, thanks for watching. There you have it. We got the saw back together, looks original. And what else we did? We had to adjust the saw, but I think this came in because the brake was on, and the fellow thought there was something wrong with the saw, which there was. There was a couple things wrong with it, obviously. We fixed, but now it's back on the road. Thanks again for watching. Yeah.